after Priest Holmes, a 21-yard run and a first down at the Raven 47-yard line. Banks, the quick throw, and complete to Shannon Sharp, and the former Denver Star is into Washington territory at the 46. Brian Billick, the head man of the Baltimore Ravens, his second year. He's 46, was a tight end at BYU, has a varied background, one of the more interesting coaches in all of football. And he brings a high-powered offense, although a little frustrated, didn't you think, Dan? He wants more explosion.
Well, you won't get many coaches to admit, like Brian does, that if he had his way and if he could, he would throw the ball every single down. He wouldn't run the football once if he could get away with it.
On second down and 3, the reverse, and it goes to Travis Taylor, the rookie from Florida, and the Redskins are ready for that. No gain as Marco Coleman, the defensive end, holding his ground, the 9-year veteran out of Georgia Tech.
Well, you don't see it very often where you try two reverses on the same series. They successfully ran the one to Jermaine Lewis. All right, here's the matchup. Here's Ogden right now trying to go against Bruce Smith. He jumps outside and he pins Bruce. Bruce will think he's held, but Jonathan got outside, stayed with him, and Bruce goes back to plead his case to the umpire. Scratch that one up to a win for Ogden.
A yard loss on the reverse, so third down 4. Good time for Banks. Has a man open in the near side and misfires to Travis Taylor. So the Baltimore Ravens, who have not scored a touchdown the last 2 games and yet have victories over Cleveland and Jacksonville, will have to punt.
Well, Tony gets a good look downfield. Great blocking by his line up front. And when you're on the road and you got a receiver that open, that is a completion that you'd like to have. That's a kind of a completion that keeps the drive moving. That completion would have probably resulted in points. That would have put him in field goal range.
Kyle Richardson to punt for Baltimore. James Thrash will return. Deion Sanders a bad back. Oh, Thrash, that's a tough catch at the 18-yard line.
But it saved yards, Dick. Good play by Thrash.
11 minutes left. Open Bailey, number 24, the second-year defensive back, in as a wide receiver on the first play of the game. And Johnson to throw. He goes deep for Bailey and almost intercepted by Kim Herring. Bailey was 10 yards from the ball. Norv Turner short on wide receivers, using the versatile Bailey, who caught 47 passes as a senior at the University of Georgia a couple of years ago as a two-way player. And an injured player on the field, not yet able to pick up the number. Certainly one of the big interior linemen, it would appear. And it is Sam Adams.
Sam Adams, who Brian Billick says is playing at a Pro Bowl level. Sam's number 95. He's to the left of your screen, fighting through the block of Mark Fisher right there. And really he doesn't get hit by another player. It doesn't appear that anyone falls on a leg or anything like that. But look at Sam really favoring his left leg as he tries to get off the field.
Billick has been very pleased with the play of Adams.
Really the only really big addition to that Baltimore defense this year.
In fact, he used him in the same sentence with Warren Sapp in our conversation a couple days ago. He's had that kind of early start in the season. And the quarterback for the Redskins, Brad Johnson, the Bull, after the Night Court character, has some physical resemblance. 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's been 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick in the last 3 games. Pro Bowler a year ago as he led the Redskins to the NFC Eastern Championship. From the 18-yard line, 2nd and 10. That's tight end Alexander in motion, and the give to Davis. And he draws a crowd of purple. Rob Burnett spearheading the charge. And this will be the interesting sub-story in this game. How many yards will Davis be able to rush against the toughest rushing defense in the NFL? Here's the offensive line for the Skins. Samuel's the rookie from Alabama, 3rd pick in the draft. Sims is nicked. Fisher, Leuenberg, and Jansen in a rebuilt line for Turner. Stephen Davis, Larry Centers leads the team in receptions. Thrash and Connell outside, and Alexander the tight end. Westbrook injured and Irving Fryar hurt in the Philadelphia game a week ago. Thrash starts. He was the number 4 receiver at the start of the year. On 3rd down, upfield, incomplete, broken driven up by Chris McCall. Make a Dwayne Starks. It was in and out of the hands of Albert Connell.
Oh, a beautiful strike thrown by Brad Johnson. Connell just running a simple post right to the middle. See him, he makes the break. He gets the inside position on Starks. I think Starks, though, got a hold of Connell's left arm and was able to pull it down and keep him from controlling the football. Even though he gave up the inside position, Starks made a nice recovery.
Jermaine Lewis, a very dangerous kick returner. At the other end is Tommy Barnhart, the veteran punter. Delivers a spiral to the far sidelines. Lewis able to stay inbounds at the 45 and down at the 45-yard line. Terrell and others leading the special teams attack for the Redskins. No score. The Ravens put the ball in play on the sidelines.
He's got a very tender lower back. Matt Stevens is taking his place here as they open up on this 1st and 10. But that lower back has been a problem for most of the season for Dion.
Well, the defender lurched forward first, and then the right tackle reacted for Baltimore. Let's see how Tom White calls it.
Well, if they thought the offensive player jumped in a reaction to Marco Coleman's move, that'll be against the Redskins.
False start. Number 81 offense.
Well,
defensive player never made it into the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Oh, they're saying that when Marco Coleman jumped, he didn't get into the neutral zone. Look at the lower right of your screen. There goes Coleman. Oh, he's in the neutral zone. That's a penalty that, in my mind, should have gone against the defense.
Ben Coates, the veteran former star with the New England Patriots, gets the penalty as they work on Sam Adams across the way. Now 1st down and 15 inside the 40-yard line for Baltimore.
This may be some sort of a clock adjustment. Anytime you see the back judge come up and consult with the referee, the back judge is responsible for keeping the clock. They reset the play clock, I believe.
At 25. So Champ Bailey, who started on offense, now starting cornerback on defense, and they feel that he's about to emerge as the man in the NFL in the deep secondary. Banks, 1st and 15. Underneath, a nice catch by Ben Coates, his 4th of the season, short yardage. Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Dick, Sam Adams, a defensive tackle for Baltimore, diagnosed with a strained left groin. They say he's questionable to return, but right now, as we speak, they're wrapping him up. They stretched him out. They laid him down on the sideline to stretch him out. He's going to test it out on the sideline in a couple minutes.
Key to the interior defense that's been so tough against the run.
Well, Adams and Saragusa give Baltimore just a monstrous presence in the middle, over about 700 pounds between those two. That's a lot of run stoppage.
Jamal Lewis, no gain. He's stopped at the 45-yard line. Dan Wilkinson, the first player picked in the '94 draft by Cincinnati, makes the hit.
Well, Wilkinson and Stubblefield provide the counterparts to Saragusa and Adams. Dan Wilkinson, formerly a #1 pick in the entire draft when he was chosen by Cincinnati back in 1994.